Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the European Crossover webinar. And we're starting out the session with still strength here in the euro. Look at this, pressing up against this very key level up in here. It's part of our analysis also in this key level that we have. We'll just take a quick look at this. Look at this euro pressing up against that 2073. So they did make it to the 2073 area here. Yeah, Renee says we can take a look at Bitcoin more in detail and NASDAQ and Eurodollar, please. Yeah, we're definitely looking at Eurodollar. So good morning, Irina. And you can see here, this is a level I already had in place. But wow, this is amazing that we went right past this 50%. Now, actually, quite a few people, myself included, were looking at the 50% just from this area. And let's take a look at this. And that was pretty key because look at that, from this low to this high, it wasn't nothing to sneeze at. From what, about 1970 all the way up to 2348, or actually it was 2245, okay? And they're looking at the 50% there, which you can see came in right here, the 50%. Well, we pushed, the market, we weren't getting any give back from that area. So it looked like, okay, when I looked over the weekend, I said, well, you know what? We need to push all the way out to the much higher one that came all the way when we went to 2348. So I pushed it all the way out here. And you can see the 50% came into 2025. Well, yes, so we closed above that. So it's not like as if we pulled back, and we didn't even, let's say, I wouldn't say struggle, but just kind of just close steady there, pare back a little bit, just a solid close. And this morning we're adding on to it. Holy smokes! So my analysis over the European, not European, but the Asian session, what we refer to as the Asian analysis, was looking at this 2073. That's my resistance for today. At the time, we were trading like a 2048 in Asia. And I'm thinking, well, it may not even get there, but that's going to be the resistance. Because I thought, okay, well, we closed up in here. We're just a little bit stronger. The market was just kind of sitting there. I'm thinking, well, you know what? It might just stop right there. There's some resistance right at that 2048. And I'll just go with this bigger level. They may not even get there, but at least we know where the market can potentially get to, where the risk level will be. Holy smokes, we're just pressing on to that. And then, of course, the other big market was here with cable. And man, look at that solid move in cable. Still trying to press a little bit higher here, but nonetheless, definitely a strong move, and we'll go on and get to those. But definitely is a solid move across the board. We did go in and see the indices going and pair back. We'll go and take a quick look at those. And as far as for economic news, we did have employment data out of the UK a couple hours ago. We did get German PPI, which came in. That was a couple hours ago too. Came in at 3.7%. Forecast was 3.3%, so stronger there. And then we don't have anything for the rest of the day, including the U.S. session. Nothing. Kind of just peered back just a bit here. But you can see quite the fall that we had here in the indices. Posted slid down at least as far as the NASDAQ came into this area here, the 13,920 area here. We're getting a little bit of a pair back at the moment, and we did see the S&Ps also slide back down here to, which was key support we had over the weekend as part of our analysis. If you were to check on the basic technical, it's for the Asian analysis over the weekend, and this was our support that we had as a secondary support, which was 41.42. Market held, and we did get a pretty decent bounce from there. Look at that. And our resistance actually today was 41.67, so we did hit that resistance. Bitcoin continues to go in a pair back. The way I'm looking at it, and we'll get to the analysis on there, it looks like we're just going to want to push. Overall, it doesn't mean it's going to happen today, tomorrow, but I think we will end up having to test sub 50 and take a dip down. I think we're going to take a dip down below 49. Euro, as I said, coming out of the gate, pretty steady. And once again, take a look here at the cable. Still pretty solid. Not willing to give hardly anything back here. Gold certainly came in, had given up. We saw that run up in gold, and it kind of snuck up. I mean, not from the end of the week, but yesterday I wasn't paying that much attention. Look, we went all the way up to 1790 before this market saw a very nice pair back. We're actually running into some support here, but very nice pullback. The market had gotten a little bit overdone on itself as we were trading in the 40s, and we made it up to, what was it? I think it was like 60. We paired back a little bit. And then we launched another run up in here, only to give a decent portion of that back here. With that, we're going to move into the analysis, and we'll look at those markets in detail. So the euro posted a solid gain on Monday, closing above the 50%, which is 2025, which is 50% of this entire move. As I mentioned, 1702 to 2348. We're right here. We're just, this little run here, but we can go further back out, and even has a further run. Let's go on and show this perspective. Look at that. The pair looks set to challenge a pivotal level of 2073 that will be resistance, with support at 1992. So let's take a look. We're talking about being pivotal. Yeah, of course it is pivotal. You can see this run up here. We take a run, we dip back, hold it, launch to 2348, come back to 1742, we hold it, we move back up in here to make a run towards 22, we come back, we hold 2073, we bounce back up again, and then we break through it. When we come through, once we're able to get back through it again, it looks like, okay, it might be blue skies ahead. Fake out on the downside. We make a run towards 22, we run out of gas, and we come right back to the 2073, trade on both sides. We make another run up here to 22 and a half, and then we come sliding here, have a little bit of a war or a battle at 2073. Mark doesn't know what it wants to do. Finally, you can see here, it closes just a bit below 2073, and that opens the door for that test lower. And you can see where we're running out, I wouldn't say run out of gas, but a little bit of some offers coming in at the 2073. So support will be 1992. $20.73 for resistance. We'll move into cable. Cable's just been an absolute beast yesterday, and cable started out the week going near parabolic intraday. Intraday, that is. Like I said, if you look at it and you say, well, that was a pretty strong move, but come on, parabolic? Well, let's take a look at it. Not on a 10-minute chart, a 30-minute chart, just on a 2-hour chart. And look at that. If that doesn't look parabolic, and like I said, we're not looking at a 5-minute, 10-minute, or 15-minute chart. This is a 2-hour chart. If that doesn't look like parabolic, I don't know what does look parabolic. So you can see what a freaking move. Let's put this back on the daily. So cable started out the week going near parabolic intraday. Resistance for Tuesday will be 40.15 with support at 39.23. And you can see where that 40.15 is coming in right there. Let's go move into the Aussie dollar. So the Aussie took out resistance level of 77.58. You can see it took it out yesterday, but did not close above it. Resistance for Tuesday will be 77.39. I meant to say, doggone it, it really ticks me off. I meant to say 77.93. Doggone it. Let me get that corrected. That's so stupid. That didn't make any sense. It's below what that key level was. If someone were to look it up, they'd be thinking like, what the heck does that mean? It doesn't make any sense, which absolutely is correct. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, great. Anyway, let's go back here. So the Aussie took out the resistance level of 77.58. You can see that. That's been resistance all last week. Intraday, but did not close above it because you can see here's yesterday's close. This is yesterday's action. Resistance for Tuesday will be 77.93. Holy smokes, we're above 78. With support at 77.16. Holy smokes, we're right in that. Well, 77.93 is 77.93. And what was the support? 77.16. Okay. Well, we goosed the stops up in here. You can see where we got to the 50% and the market paired back. And that's why in the analysis from yesterday, going into yesterday, my key thing was they can goose some stops up in here, but can they close above it? That was what would make the people stop. Well, to guess today, two people would get stopped out because boy, did we make a run here. And you can see where I'm coming up with the 77.93 with this body close right there. See that? But we are solid. We are solid. So right now, I think we have to let it go by, but they're definitely going to be stopping out some people. The upper resistance would actually be right here if it could stretch up to that, which is 77, 78.18. And I thought, well, okay, if they do come up in here, we'll go with this body touch right there. But no, they're still pushing up higher. So we'll see how that plays out. But kind of reminds me, not the same, but like with the euro dollar on Friday, meaning they're not turned away, so this market's probably going to move higher. I'm talking about from yesterday's action as compared to, let's say, Friday from the euro, and certainly we'll see this thing push higher. Let's go move into the dollar yen. This has been something else. Look at this. It's just been one way road, one way ticket to down. The dollar yen pushed the envelope, further testing 108 to start the week. Support for Tuesday will be 792. You can see at 792 with resistance at 878. And this, I think, is such a perfect example of why we have to use stops. Not that people aren't using stops, but I'm just saying is, look how this thing, it was a beast on the way up. And you're thinking, oh, well, this thing's going to stop. And which it did. We did see a battle here at 957. But look at this run up here, all the way up to 111. Okay, well, they'll hold here for sure. And which it was. That was a good area right there at 927. I'm going to go and add some more here. And then look, you just keep going lower and lower and lower. Then we break this 850. Now I'm pressing lower and lower. I'm just saying, it's like, wow. Just shows that no matter what, we have to use stops, because maybe things turn around. Maybe in another week we're testing up here, up in the lower 920s or 940s or whatever. But for right now, if someone just kept adding and adding and adding, boy, they're underwater like nobody's business. By the way, good call. Amanda has been playing this for the short side. Anyway, that being said, it's going to be 792. I wouldn't have thought it'd break this far. I will say that. And then, although this seems a bit overdone, not that's going to get to it today, but this would be the next, real resistance going forward. Seems like it's wow. Well, actually, no, it's not now. Look what, wow, in Asia, we were like around here. So just looking here, look at this key level. Yeah, so it's going to be 878, but wow, what a run. Amazing. Let's go move into the cash dollar index. All those dollar bulls. So the dollar index continues to fall without reprieve. Support for Friday will be 90.90, with where some value buying may appear. Resistance will be 91.40. So I put 90.90, and it got as low as 90.86. 90.90. I'm at 91.90. At 90.90. And what was the resistance? Honestly forgot. For 91.40. And I think we can clearly see that ended up switching to bearish. And let's now go to Bitcoin. And let's go to that chart. This is a daily on Bitcoin. You can see we've broken quite a bit here. Bitcoin, after the weekend's uproar, appears to be destined to test sub 50,000. Support for Tuesday will be 48,239. Now, once again, that doesn't mean that I think we're going to necessarily go to 48,239 today, but that's what I'm looking at going forward here. And actually, that 48,239, right here. Okay. There we go. And that should be 48,369. No, we can actually go like that. Maybe that'll give us. You know what? That's pretty good solid area right there. Eventually, I think we'll go to 47,945. 47,945. I'll tell you what. I think when we break here, then I think we can hang around here. But problem is that a lot of people got cleaned out, so they may not be willing to step in until we dip further, and the market may see further pain. So this is eventually what I think we can get to, which is 47,945. And just for today, actually, when I put it here, I meant right here, which would have been, which is a little bit higher than that. But it's actually, you can see right here, look at the touches coming across here. But you know how Bitcoin, like any other market, usually shoots beyond. That would come in right there, 47,945, which makes sense. It would even take out 48. Well, let's go on in. This is where I think we'll eventually get to. We may even overshoot it, but see how the touches look here and here. Oh, look at that. I like that. There you go. But for today, we'll just keep it simple. I don't think we're getting there today, but I think when it breaks, it's going to break. It's going to be a little bit scary. I'll go right. And we'll go 53.48. But I think we're going down there, that 47.9. But let's go with 53.48. But I'm still going to stick with my resistance, which is going to be 56,000. I actually got above a little bit, 56,000. Look at that. I'm sticking with that. There. Definitely still bullish. Now, and the mirror says, so look at platinum, palladium. Yeah, we'll get to that, mirror. Thank you very much. Appreciate the notation. Definitely won't forget you. Let's go to ES. And another one is this cable. Holy smokes, what a run yesterday. And you could even see people, I traded cable a couple times, actually 3 times yesterday. And you could even see as we got up in here, even the dips, they would try and push it down. And then people would they would go down and then they quickly just push it right back up. They're like, okay. Then they run out of gas here, they go down a little bit. And then they quickly push it back up to new highs. And it just kept repeating itself. You can see how people were just getting literally run over. And why you got to use stops. Holy smokes. Not that you don't, but I'm just saying is it's just a lesson when you see a market move like that, like the way cable did, or to a certain extent Euro. Man, just unbelievable. Or like the dollar yen we just referenced earlier. Let's take a look at the S&Ps on a 2-hour chart. I think that breaks it out a little bit better. So the S&P found buyers at key support level previously noted, which we did on the weekend in the Asia analysis from the weekend, and I think our support was like, it was at 41.58 or something like that. It said followed by 41.42. But anyway, it's there if you want to pull it up from the basic technical look, scroll down to the weekend ahead. But anyway, that being said, resistance for Tuesday will be 41.67 with support at 41.52. And looks like we ran out of gas right there at that 41.67. Think about the S&Ps, like they remember these levels like nobody's bananas. Look at that, 41.67 to the tick. And I've got 41.52. I was going to go with 41.54, but I thought that might have been a little bit too close. Oh, well, we have 41.52 and 41.67. And once again, this analysis is already there. I did deviate a little bit on the Bitcoin, but I'm saying all the analysis is there. If you didn't want to wait, I mean, we're looking at them like, well, the euro's pushing up. Doesn't mean that that's going to be the high or whatever, but you can use it in conjunction with your own analysis. But that's already there. It's not like you have to wait for it. But we do look at some other things, and sometimes we'll look at the profile to get an idea, which really worked yesterday well with cable as an indication of where the market could go to, although the market eventually ended up going even beyond that. Let's go and take a look now at NASDAQ. So looking at NASDAQ on the 2-hour chart, we saw that pretty good dip, and we did have support down there. I know that in the chat room, 13,826. I even went long, I think a couple of times on those dips. And to be honest with you, it was even spooky to go long there. I think my last long, on 2 occasions, but I think I went long at, I think 31.38, and then the market bounced up. But I ended up going long at, I think it was 31.28, I believe it was. And honestly, it was a little bit spooky because it looked like, hey, you know what, we might just take it around and still dump. So it's easy to look at these levels and say, although the S&P was responding better at the time around that 41.42, but it's easy to say, oh, yeah, I mean, that would have been a good area. And then look at this hammer. And it didn't look like that at the time. I tell you what, it looked like maybe this thing was going to take another leg lower. But anyway, that being said, we saw that come into support there, which was a 826/38, but this is 1826 here. And we saw a pretty good bounce back. And we're actually coming into this 13,930, which is some good resistance here. Now, how much further can we push back up? Well, you look up in here, maybe we can push a little bit higher. I'm not sure how much further we're going to go. Let's call it right here. You see this level here? That's not too much higher. 13,955 is pretty key. I do like this area right here, 13,941. But tell you what, if they want to blow some stops a little bit, we'll go with that 13,955. If we take a look at it on a fib, let's blow this out. That's the problem. It spreads everything way out too far. Well, let's go. And even then, that does. So. Trying to look for confluence. Well, 13,941, you know that the S&P's, the NASDAQ loves the 50%. So I don't know if it'll make it up to 13,955. And 13,941 just happens to come in at the 50%. And that's where I was coming up with this level right there. You see that? Right there on the nose. Tell you what, we'll go with this low here. See that low right there? That's 13,945. So 13,945 for resistance. You may still see 13,955. We'll go 13. Well, this market's still. Tell you what, we'll go with this 13,955. It doesn't mean that makes that big of a thing, but they may be able to push with a little bit of positivity since they came back and the market's still in a bullish mode. So all things being equal, we'll go with the 13,955. I'm not usually all flipping around here. I did not do the Asia analysis for the NASDAQ because it's not on the whatchamacall, basic technical. They don't have a space there for at NASDAQ. So I thought, oh, well, I'll let it go and I'll just look at it in the morning and see what's at. That's why but as I told you, it's always done. I mean, it's done beforehand. Support is going to be right here. We'll see whether it holds out or not. Right there. 13,858. That's not offered much because we did go down there. Right there, that low. 13,864. Actually, yesterday's point of control, developing point of control at the time was right there. So I like 13,864. Not that necessarily expected to hold there, but I'm saying as a dip, that would provide some support. We see how we just went up to 13,935 and we're dipping back here. Next thing is gold. Gold paired back on Monday after rallying to 1790, following a solid close to the prior week. Resistance for Tuesday will be 1777 with support at 1756. You see that move? So 1777 for resistance. And you saw that close on Friday, then we extended, and boy, did we get a pretty good run yesterday. This really snuck up on me. I saw someone saying they were shorting it yesterday, and I think they opened in the 80s, so pretty good job by them, but wasn't paying that much close attention to it at the time. But we're looking at 1756, 1777. And let's go move on to crude. Wow, crude's still pushing a little bit higher in here. Holy smokes. There's another one. I mean, the trend's going its way, but I'm just saying, if you want to step in front of these markets. And I'll tell you what, I see time and time again, it's easy if we I'm saying it's easy to say go with the trend, but I'm saying even the very short-term trend, if the market's breaking out this way, we talk about using, I use this opening range. You'll see me use the opening range here in FX more often when we're talking here, but you'll see this, the opening range in NASDAQ and SPOOs, and that opening range will just save you because look at crude taking off. Look at the way cable took off. But anyway, nonetheless, let's go on in the opening range breakout. Let's go on and pull these notes on crude. So crude managed to close just above 63.52, opening the door for a challenge of 64.27, which will be resistance with support at 62.98. So what has been the high so far? So I have 64.27 and 64.34, so not bad. 64.24. And that's just a body close. That's how I came up with that level. We'll take a look at America's platinum palladium, and we'll take a look at that. 98. There we go. And let's go and move into So when I was looking at this here, here's the crude. Was it this one right there? Yeah, you see there? See this body close right there? That was 64.27. That's where I came up with that. So I'm just going with the levels, and I mean, that's what I'm looking at right now. Lelia says, will you have inputs for silver? I don't, although we can consider adding that, but I can certainly take a look at silver right now, just the same way that Amir said, hey, take a look at platinum, palladium. But we'll take a look at silver. Hang on. And silver should now be July. Don't you take it all? Let's take a look at July. So let's go and take a look here where we stand here with silver. We had a pretty nice pullback here. Let's go and take a look at a couple of fibs. And don't worry, Amir will take a look at the platinum palladium. Hang on. He's not asking again. I just want him to know that I didn't forget him. So on this rally up in here, let's take a look here. Where's the 38? Where's the 50% here? You see here? And then that's at 26.13. You can see a little bit of a struggle here. Right here. Here's a 50%. But you can see here, let's pull this further back. It really should be off of this one right there. And we've made it just here's the 38%. From all the way up here to that $30 and just a hair over $30. Here's a deal here that I see here with silver, although it's always fairly volatile. There we go. Okay, here's what the heck. Look at all these bodies on the bottom. This is where it's having trouble, right there. You see these bodies right there? That comes in at 26.05. The market's acting like it's a little bit tired. You can see here, there's a little bit of a gravestone doji here. The wick maybe just a hair bit long, but the market's trying to make this push above here, and it's struggling right now. And then you can see here, when you pull it back from here, these highs, that's 38% right in there. It hasn't pulled back there yet, so it's had it's kind of making its own stand. But it's struggling a bit here. To me, it has to hold 25.54. We're kind of and silver's a lot more volatile than gold, although it doesn't look too crazy volatile. And way back in the past, used to be a lot more volatile. Compared to the way it used to be, because I don't you look at that often, it seems like it's holding up pretty well. Even though look at this, we rallied to this 38%, and the market could have turned around and started to scoot back, and we didn't. Kind of held in here, but we did have this dark, this engulfing bar. Okay, it engulfs not the entire range. Some people want to see the whole thing. I like to look just right here. The bodies. To me, that's what counts. So we engulf, there's engulfing, and then we dip, and look, we're holding pretty well. Now, here's the immediate support right there. Definitely has to hold that on a short-term basis, which you can see it actually did. It held that. I wasn't even paying attention to this date. I'm paying attention to the one we're on currently. And that comes in right there, 25.72. So you know there's going to be some stops here, 25.72, right there. It doesn't mean that it's all for naught. I'm saying we could actually goose some stops below here, 25.72. But the key will be to hold that 25.55. But the market, to me, seems like it's holding up pretty well. I mean, see, we could have see this dip back. We hold there 25.72, and the market could, with this bearish engulfing, could easily have dipped back. And it's not. It's actually holding up pretty well. Here's my take. I'd be saying as long as we hold 25.72 on the daily close, we can dip back and test some stops. But as long as we hold 25.72, then the market's still open to eventually press at least up to this 26.30. As long as we hold 25.72 on the daily close, then we still have the opportunity to eventually come up here to challenge 26.30. And if we get a daily close above 26.30, then this market is going to definitely make a solid run for 26.88. That would be my take on silver. Let's go and take a look at platinum palladium for a mirror. And this is still holding up very well. We left this here because remember, this market had actually broken out. Boy, what a breakout it was. And we're looking at, hey, what kind of targets are we looking at? Well, we did get to the 127% extension, which came in here at the 28.12, and I left it here. And the market's kind of sitting here. You can see right now we opened a little bit stronger, and we're pressing lower. If we can eventually come back up 2,900, it's actually 28.96 would be 161%. The market's still looking pretty solid here, and that's on a daily though. But here's the deal: we need to hold this 27.48. There's going to be some stops now. You can see right here yesterday's low here, and you can see 2 prior days ago the high. But this is where the stops are going to come at 27.48. The market's still looking pretty solid. Anybody who's short will be looking to pick up any dips back in here. So 27.48 for a potential move eventually. When we get there is going to be 28.96. And then take a look at palladium. That's palladium. Take a look at platinum. You've got this little bit of a graystone doji. Market is just kind of in the middle of the road here. You see here, kind of sitting here. The key support right now on a short-term basis can be this 11.89. And there's going to be some stops below it. We do have to hold this 11.59, but that's where the stops are going to be at right now. And it doesn't mean that, okay, put your order there and get out of your position. But if we're going to pull back, that's where the stops will be. So it's the same thing with silver. They may venture the stops below it, but if they can't find a bar and they close right back above it, it'll be a solid close, and you'd be looking for 12.44. But look, the market's going to be open for a little bit of weakness. It's just on a short-term basis. Look for some stops at 11.89. With that, this will be the webinar for today. Here's the bias chart. I will make a screenshot and post it in the chat room, but that's where we stand right now. Your dollar's still holding pretty steady, and cable, look at this. This thing is still holding up like a rock. That's amazing after the run that we saw yesterday. And here's crude oil at 64.22. Our bias chart resistance 64.24. You can see where I did it just off of that body close. So we'll see, but it's already had a pretty good solid run. With that, thanks for joining us in the chat room, and I'm in the webinar, and we'll see you. Lana says, thanks for your help on silver. Appreciate it. Oh, absolutely. And we'll see you in the chat room. Thank you.